Hello, hello. I'm Sam Sundar from Holistic Mama, and I'm here with Max Kassy.
Yes, we're in Kingaroy.
Thanks for joining us, Max. We're sitting here in a lovely cafe in Kingaroy, in Queensland. So I heard Max's story quite recently, and I just knew that it had to be shared with others, and that there are thousands of people out there who could be really helped by hearing what Max has to share about his healing process. His story is just incredible. So thank you so much for joining us, Max.
You're very welcome, Sam.
So would you mind just starting by sharing with us where you were at back 6 months ago? So with your health and your well-being, what was going on for you?
6 months ago, I was a person who had multiple strokes. 6 months ago, quality of life was virtually nothing. There was everything negative about life. And everything stroke-related was not working, medical-wise. So I needed somebody to come along and give me a handshake in the right direction, which happened.
It did, didn't it? So this was when somebody who was working with you, who knew you quite well,
yes,
came along and asked you if this is something that might interest you.
The first thing he said to me, "Are you an open-minded gentleman?" And I said, "I am." Depending on what? And he said, "Then you consider something natural with a bit of resistance to you?" And I said, "Yes. We have been open-minded that in the past, but that hasn't availed any great results."
Sure.
And he said to me, "What do you think about looking at something in the hemp area or oil area?" And I said, "You mean cannabis?" And I said, "No." And I felt very invasive to even consider it. But then I sat down and thought about it, and I thought, well, perhaps there may be something in this. The quality of life is virtually non-existent, and life's not really worth it. So he said to me, "Why don't we start small and see how we go?"
Worth a try.
Worth a try.
Yeah. So just to clarify, at this time, Max, you were experiencing difficulty with your mobility?
Yes, totally nearly wheelchair bound.
Okay.
Fragmentedly walking, trying to walk, stand, but vertigo was overtaking all the time. Collapsing, falling was a regular basis. So that was a big problem. Even showering with this support worker that supported me at the time was quite a challenge for him and myself. He felt that if we could find something that would change better than medical, we'd reach out and grab it. So we did.
Yeah. And at this time, you were under medical care, and
Absolutely.
you had some MRI scans as
Absolutely.
well.
Yes.
So backtrack a little bit to
the earlier days.
What led to that condition? So it was strokes.
Strokes, multiple strokes, stress, pressure at work, heavy lifestyle. Our gung-ho, go-getting Australian Aussie spirit. Burned myself out, overworked myself, and bang, stroke.
Right. And how many strokes had you
Well, I've had multiple, but approximately 54.
54 strokes.
Which is quite, in the medical terms, almost shouldn't be existing.
Yeah,
but
I bet.
I have defied all medical predictions, and so that said palliative care was as good as it get, and be ready to pass on from there. I've beaten all goalposts they said of not being in the sixth world in existence. Gone past that, and today I sit here, being thankful for the handshake given by this gentleman to give this a try. And in the last 6 months, I've seen radical change.
And so you'd survived that, and you got to this place though, where your quality of life was almost non-existent.
Exactly.
And so you started the CBD oil approximately 6 months ago.
Yes.
Yep. And what happened after that?
Well, it started and very, very restful. Stress almost vanished overnight. Vertigo vanished in hours, if not a couple of days. So dizziness of wanting to not be able to stand up or focus, I was refocusing. The ability to stand was quite more prominently noticeable. And incontinence vanished within days and hours. But they were the two biggest milestones that evolved from virtually hours or days of starting this CBD oil.
Wow.
And
Fantastic.
the,
And then,
the interesting part is, I'll give anybody listening to this that there is no invasiveness by taking this oil, in the sense that there is a one-way path, and that's forward in positive mode, completely leaving behind everything negative.
mm. And so what you mean by nothing invasive is that it was quite easy to take.
Absolutely.
And there was no psychotropic.
Yep. No side effects, nothing.
Yeah, awesome.
It just seemed like it started putting building blocks and foundations under areas that even the medical world couldn't even come anywhere near.
Yes, yeah. Filling in all those gaps.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so you started off on the CBD oil and then you went to a more potent one.
We started at 500 milligrams, and then we were given the opportunity of moving to the 1,000 milligrams. And that was almost like turning a light switch on and off. The 500 milligram, I'm not knocking it, don't get me wrong, it was a good starting point because it sort of stabilised me in the mental side of it, that I was prepared to accept this challenge. And it was very slow operating, but it was a starting point, and from there the 1,000 milligram made rapid changes within a week.
Right.
And all vertigo, all incontinence, balance become extremely stable. Positiveness of our life started to re-establish itself. And what was negative for 4 years became total positive territory. Awesome. And the outlook was looking as if I could climb Mount Everest.
Yeah, so it wasn't just physical.
Within days.
Yeah, your whole well-being.
Whole well-being, the whole world changed. Friends and people that I'm close to just noticed this massive change. That's what's going on. I said, I'm just taking CBD oil.
CBD oil.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I said, what is it? What's this thing? Oh, we've heard all about it. How do I find it? Why would you recommend it? I said, well, you've seen me at the pool. I go to a therapy pool, which is in Nanango, Queensland, and people see me wheelchair bound and non-active in the community. All of a sudden, within days and hours, I was becoming active in the community, essentially going back to partial normal life.
Yeah.
In such a short time.
Yeah.
And the thing I must stress is it's non-invasive.
Yeah.
It just re-establishes everything that's broken down. Everything that's collapsed in your world in a stroke, which is a very aggressive downsize in life, general life, everything, it just re-establishes that within the total positive.
So you have had MRI scans showing quite an advanced degeneration
Absolutely.
in the brain tissue.
The MRI scans in the early days, after quite a few multiple strokes, showed the brain was totally dead on one side. Black as soot. And I had an MRI just recently, which has blown everybody away. Stroke specialist on the Sunshine Coast. Everybody generally, even the woman who took the MRI, said to me, I'm not a qualified woman, but I will tell you this much, that looking back on your previous MRI scans, this brain that's decimated for life, as far as they're concerned, could never ever change. There's nothing to change it. We see this white film cloud all over it, which means the brain is regrowing, and there is new pathways coming from this dead brain with this rebuilding of this brain to areas of the body on the left side, which was totally devastated. And that area is waking up. And we'll see in future days, probably 6 months' time, a re-establishment of that total area that's been inactive for 4 years. This is in this 6 month period.
Just incredible.
Just taking this simple
Absolutely incredible.
One drop 3 times a day.
Okay. And so can you share with the viewers now, it was about 4 months ago, wasn't it, that you started taking the Nerve 2 activator?
I did.
Okay. So what did you notice from there?
I just noticed 2 things happened. Urine became extremely dark.
Yeah.
Bowel motion became extremely black.
Yeah, so you were detoxing.
Absolutely. And I thought I was healthy. But this evidence, when I went to the toilet, showed that I was quite unhealthy. And this simple little tablet, what you call it?
What?
Tablet,
yeah.
did all this massive work. And it seems like my recommendation to anybody is oil is perfect, but the combination of both is impeccable. Okay. That's hitting bullseye all the time when you blend the two together. You've got to blend the two. What one doesn't do, the other does. There's what you call for stroke, a perfect balance for total rebuilding and recovery. Stroke. That's the wholehearted answer I can give you.
So from there, you've just really gotten progressively better.
Yep.
In
I'll
terms of...
just give you just along and go there. I'm not going to worry about it. Sorry, I'm not giving you.
Oh, that's all right.
So every day brings a change. Every hour brings a change. Every minute brings a change.
Oh, okay.
Every minute is something different.
Yeah.
All right. We're
Sorry
just
about
here doing an interview.
I'll just pause that there.
Yeah.
Apologies for that interruption. Okay.
Thank you.
So you were just telling us about the results of your MRI
Yes,
quite recently.
that's right.
Now that was how long ago was that recent MRI?
About 6 weeks ago.
6 weeks ago. Okay.
Down taken in the Naval Base Hospital. Reported in the Quina Base Hospital, Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
So that was mind blowing for the specialists, and he had a look at my general medical medications I was taking by the current doctor here in Kingaroy, and he said to me, "That's fine, we'll leave that as such." And quickly took these 2 bottles I presented to him, protein and oil. And he quickly did some research with another high-ranking doctor of the Sunshine Coast University Hospital. And they came back and said to me, "This is the best that you can acquire anywhere in the world."
You're speaking about the Nerve 2 activator,
Absolutely.
is that correct?
This is the best you can acquire anywhere in the world. He said to me, "Promise one thing, don't change any of the normal medications that were prescribed. Please take these 2 extra bottles of product you brought on. We certified as being okay. Please return in June if this results are still evolving by then. My recommendation will be to the medical board is that this will need to be introduced in our rehabilitation clinic on the Sunshine Coast."
Wow.
Because we don't know how to medically rebuild a brain that this product knows how to build.
Yeah.
And you're the best client we have on our books to see a dead brain rebuilding brain and reconnecting
right?
to dead areas of the body.
Wow. Wow. How wonderful that he took the time to look at that.
And he did. He witnessed that in front of family and friends that were there and took me down. He emphasised, he said to me, "Please change nothing between now and June. I'll see you in June."
So I bet you've told a lot of people about your experience.
I have told a lot of people, and the biggest thing about it is a lot of people are telling other people.
Okay.
So then what's happening is people are making contact with me and saying, "I've got a similar friend or friend, family, whatever it may be, or I've got a problem myself, and, what should I do from here?" So we steer them in the right direction.
Fantastic.
The stroke specialist just in passing did say, this is an area that is contentious with the pharmaceutical world, but in time to come, the pharmaceutical world will have to calibrate themselves that this is the way of the future, and medical world will have to change their focus on this area, because this is what we need to do in the long term of our evolving in this world. This is the goals that we need to start setting. People like you, obviously, to challenge to rechange our way of operating in the medical world.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'm quite happy to put a cog in the wheel and change it.
Good for you, Max. Sounds like you've been very lucky to have quite an open-minded specialist.
Very lucky. So then we are actually very blessed in that.
And you mentioned to me before, we were just having a chat earlier about how much you've noticed in the people around you who've also
have
been
similar problems and been watching me. So when I go to a therapy pool in Queensland called a little town called Nanango, which caters for people with disability, and at that pool there's masses of people with many different ailments and problems in life. It's what you call the ground of where everybody pours everything out. The pond, they call it the pond of receiving everything, and everything's fixed in this pond of water. But I've noticed people in wheelchairs with MS and people with other stroke areas, heart attacks, high blood pressure, people with massive weight issues have now come along and started taking this same sort of product that I'm taking. A lot of those areas are totally reversing themselves. People in wheelchairs are walking. People with epilepsy is vanishing. Fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue just disappears within days and hours. People go back to normal life. I mean, why stand in the way? Let's go. Let's use this thing. My recommendation is try it and see what it does for you.
Yeah. So you're referring to the CBD oil and the protein activator, which is
the two combination is the perfect mix for people like us.
Yeah. So they complement each other.
Complement each other. They're almost in unison, totally together. And the thing about this is no side effects.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
side effects. Please make that very clear.
Yeah.
You can tell you it's all confidence. That it's a one-way handshake. Get better with no complications. It's just forward motion all the way.
Yeah.
There'll be days when you'll plateau slightly, but it's not long before there's a move up. It's always a step up all the time.
So it's been your experience
Yes.
with your healing journey.
Absolutely.
What an amazing one it's been, hey?
Considering I had a year in rehab in Caloundra Base Hospital and spent a lot of time there, it's 52 weeks actually, and went in virtually the same way coming out. And I come in and find this, and it's changed what they couldn't do in a year. This is 4 years later. So, you know, I've got to believe when I see the opposite evolving from my life, that couldn't be done with the best of the best in the medical world.
Yeah.
That's my awesome passion about this.
Incredible. Just incredible, Max.
Whatever your problem is out there, try it and see what it does for you. There's nothing lost. There's a lot to gain.
Yeah, that's right. Beautiful.
And connect with people that are like-minded and are using it. I found that when I connected with people using it, that's when I made the most progress, because there was times when I wondered whether I was as good as I could, or perhaps I wasn't working quick enough. Patience is a great thing, and belief.
Very important.
And confidence.
Yeah, really important factors. Hey?
Absolutely. And my bit of advice is eat well. Remember, rest is a big healer, and the oil combination makes you rest well. Rest is a great healer, good repairer.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. So is there anything else that you feel you'd like to share about your experience, or you feel
I think that's fairly all what I need to mention. At this stage, we can always do another one a bit further down the track, or I'll get a bit further.
We could do that.
If that's not too much trouble.
Sounds great.
There'll be chapter 2 somewhere, because the journey's not over yet.
Yeah. We'll be checking in with
still early
sure.
days, but great journey so far. Massive change. Go for it. Anybody's looking for a change, put your hand out and grab this.
Let me just clarify, because your hand 6 months ago, you could barely.
The hand was closed in.
Yeah.
This hand here was closed in totally. It's not perfect yet.
Yeah.
And because of it was being closed in, it actually got infected.
Right.
And they suggested it should be cut off.
Wow.
Because how do you clean something that's totally shut? And we can't even prise it open. So the recommendation is cut it off. Just have the stump on in the arm and work with that. No, it's still here. It's not perfect, but look at it. It was totally closed, locked closed, and couldn't be opened by anybody.
That's amazing.
And it's working. Fingers are moving. Not perfect, but it's working. Give it another month or two, and we'll see what happens.
Max, I'm just so thrilled for you and your experience.
Thank you very much for the time
to
even have the privilege of saying what I said.
Thanks so much for sharing it with everyone.
Anybody out there, share it with whoever you want to, and we'd be happy to give any information or help that anybody wants over what we've said here today. We
will make sure that Max is contactable as well. And now I'm required to say this, so we're not claiming to cure or prevent or mitigate any disease. It's actually our bodies that do the healing. So our bodies know what to do when they're given the right supports and tools. So, and I personally have a passion as well as Max about sharing stories like Max's. So if any of you out there would like to share your story, if you feel that it could benefit others, then please let us know as well. All right. Thanks so much for watching. You want to say bye, Max? See ya.